Hello everyone, Carla here from Documenting the Journey. As you can see, I have a little guest with me who will not leave my side for some reason. But I am actually here to do a plan with me in my daily MakseLife. I have a couple of tools out that I might be using. I honestly don't really know what I'm going to be doing quite yet, but I have my daily pages in here on a ring binder. This is the Aura Estelle Chloe. And I already took out all of my 2021 pages, and I have in here right now just my 2022. And so we are going to go ahead and flip over here to January. I'm doing all of my goals in my larger flagship MakseLife. I was going to transfer them here, but in reality, I don't really feel super comfortable with my goals leaving the house with me. And so I decided not to do goals in here. I do have a couple of weekly action pages in here as well. I'm not going to be using my monthly spread in the daily because I have a Hobonichi Weeks, which is my everyday carry and my catch-all. And so this kind of leaves the house with me. It goes with me everywhere. If I add anything at the last minute, it goes in here. And so I'll be referring to this when I'm doing my daily planning. And then I do have monthly goals in here just because I was going to keep them in here until I decided to just keep everything in the flagship. So I'm essentially only going to be using this for the daily pages. And so I'm going to go ahead and take out, oh, and also my reflections are also in the flagship. I'm sorry about the lighting. I'm hoping it will improve. I am having to film on a different day and a different time than normal today because this week kind of got a wee bit wonky. But anyways, okay, so let's go ahead and take out these pages. Part of the beauty of a ring planner or a disc system is that you could take the pages out and have a flat surface to write on, which I'm very excited. Some of the things that I will be using today are some pens. I am going to be using the Micron pen in blue in the 01. I'm also going to be using some date washi tape. This is new to me, and this is from Rose Colored Days. It's a new shop to me. I've never ordered from them before, but I did place an order because they had some sticky notes that I really love. I did a haul video of everything that I got on that day, but I got this tape specifically for the daily pages. Okay, so let's go ahead and start dividing out my week here. I actually don't use the weekly overview very often, meaning I don't refer to it very often because, again, I have my weeks that is kind of like my main planner. But I do like having the information in here. Sorry, I can't draw and talk at the same time. So I'm basically going to just divide this up to 3 separate columns. I did this too wide. This is not the normal ruler that I use, but that is okay. So I might actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch my layout a little bit. So I'm going to do all of my appointments over here, my day-specific tasks here, and my weekly running list here. I might do that because I used a different ruler. Okay, so I have a bunch of stencils from DearLilyDesigns. They make a stencil specific to the MakseLife spacing. It is stencil number 117, and it's a 6mm spacing. And so I'll be using that for some checklists on here as well. They also make a stencil that I use for the Hobonichi Weeks, which is always so yellow here. So this one is the Hobonichi stencil. It has the original spacing, the A6 English spacing, and the Weeks spacing. And so I'll probably use this one on my weekly overview because I can fit more of a checklist, and then I'll use this one on my daily pages. Okay, so I think first, before I get ahead of myself, what I need to do is write down the date ranges that I'm planning for. Okay, so I've got my date ranges in there. I normally don't have a focus of the week, and so I'm going to just go ahead and keep that blank. My cat is like really cramping all the light. She wants to lay in the sun. I don't know if that's actually better or worse for you guys. Okay, but that's okay. All right, we are just gonna roll with it, and I will just do my best. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing first is adding in my schedule. This is gonna totally throw me off a little bit because everything is backwards. I usually have my schedule on this side and my weekly to-do list on this side, but we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna figure it out. I ended up closing some of my blinds on my windows. Okay. So let's go ahead and add in my schedule. Okay, so all right, so my kids don't go back to school until Wednesday. Oh, I always forget to put the dates over here. All right, my son is also in wrestling, and he's got practice twice a week, and that is on Mondays and Thursday. Wednesday is a pretty busy day because I start work, the kids start school again, and then we've just got a lot of stuff going on. And then we've got a birthday for a neighbor friend. There's 2 L's in drywall. My daughter has soccer. All right, so that is the schedule. And then I'm going to be adding in some checklists. I think I will use, ooh, this is good to know. Okay, so if anybody has the MakseLife Daily and they're interested in stencils, the 099, which is the Japanese planners, the one that's marked over here for 3.5 millimeters, this one here does perfectly for the spacing for the weekly overview. Okay. So you can notice that a lot of my stencils are kind of like dark and blacked out. So I was using a fountain pen for a very, very long time, and I just honestly missed using my stencils. And my fountain pen ink was starting to get on the stencils, and then I got really nervous about ruining the nib, and so I quit using my fountain pen, which kind of makes my heart really sad. But I'm gonna try and not use it for a little while because I just, honestly, I prefer my stencils over a fountain pen. And so I've got my checklist here, and then I will write the weekly tasks are going to be here. And then I'm going to do my specials rotation for my kids. They have different activities each day at school. And this is a sticker from Caffeine and Paper Co. All right, and then my menu I keep track of in here as well. Okay, does this bother you guys? Black text with blue pen. I'm kind of curious if that bothers anybody, having different color inks on the same spread. Okay, so let's see if I can refer to last week to see what tasks I need to migrate over. Okay. So I'm going to have several things that I have not completed. I am still not completed with my 2022 goals. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I normally don't have them completed at least until like the end of January, beginning of February. The beginning of the month is always really busy for me as far as like household things, because I do a lot of household chores. I've already sanitized my dishwasher and sanitized my washing machine. I have not rotated my mattress or changed my air filter in the house yet. So I'm going to write those on here, and I'm just referring to my previous week up here. And then oh, dog nails. I haven't done their nails yet. I'm going to try and do that today. Okay. And then I've got some things that I need to buy. Oh my gosh, I just wrote 2 Y's on to buy. I don't know what that was all about. Okay, so we do a monthly Costco trip. We try our darndest to go only once a month. It doesn't always work. So I'm gonna write Costco here. And then I already have a separate Costco list on a sticky note somewhere. And then we need to buy some ice scrapers for our cars. And then I'm just going to kind of leave that blank. All right, so this is kind of like my sidebar. And so basically I have it set up pretty similar to this. So this, again, goes with me everywhere. It's always in my purse, no matter what. My daily does not always go with me. A lot of times it's just kind of laid out on my desk. And so I try and yes, a lot of this is repeated and I'm writing it more than once, but I'm kind of okay with that. And so I am basically just trying to make sure that I get everything on here that I know that I need. And so my day specific tasks, I, on Monday, do a little coffee photo with a very dear friend of mine and my father. It's funny because I honestly don't even know like how or why it started, but it's so sweet and near and dear to my heart. We just have to do it every single Monday, and we have like a little group text. And then it's funny because like on our phone, we named the group text like coffee date or something like that. But anyways, my dad lives in a different state. My very dear friend used to live here, but she just moved. Oh, it's so hard. She just moved to Michigan. And so that is definitely more important now than it was in the past. And I started making a bunch of checklists because I was chit-chatting, and I don't even know if I need that many checklists on each day. But coffee photo. So that happens every single Monday. Also, every single Wednesday, I detail the kitchen because we have trash on Thursdays. And so I usually purge the fridge of any leftovers that we might still have. Okay, and then I don't know why I might as well just finish all of the checklists, right? Like, just to make it look more uniform. I started talking about my little coffee photo thing, and I just kept going. I'm totally loving the fact that you get 7 check boxes if you're using this specific stencil. That kind of like really makes me super happy. I love these stencils. They're credit card sized. They are like a really hard plastic, so they're not going to move around on you when you're planning, which in my opinion is like the most important part of a stencil. I've used other brands before that are just a super duper thin plastic, and they did not work. They actually made me very angry. Okay, so on Sundays, my husband and I sit down and we do our menu and we do our groceries. And then on Saturdays, oh, we have a couple of things on Saturday. So Saturday is usually my house catch-up day. And then I do laundry every single day, but I'm not going to put that on here. I'm going to put those in my daily pages. Okay, so these are the basics of the must-do, have-to-happen, specific day type things. And then I'm going to come over here and I will, so this washi started on a Wednesday. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep, oh no. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep all that or not. I just wrote December, y'all. All right, so that's Monday. I'm going to date all of these first. And this washi is also perforated, which is kind of nice. Okay, so I am basically going to be going through and dating each one of my pages. I will also put in hourly timeline over on the right side, and then I will go ahead and add in my day specific tasks for each day as well. I am going to be using the 3 bullet parts up on the top underneath focus. I'm going to be using those for my health and activity tracking. And so I will be tracking my steps, my walking, how many miles I walk, in addition to my, what is the other thing? Oh gosh, steps, mileage, oh, my active minutes, duh. So how often I am, doing my activity. And so I'll be tracking that up there. I have also used that in the past to track my meals. You can also use it to do a priorities list. You can track your spending. You can pretty much track anything. I have done a lot of things in the past with those 3 dots in addition to the 3 boxes down at the bottom. And it really just kind of depends on what I need during that specific day. And so because I am going to be so highly focused on my activity for the next forever, I'm going to be trying to track as much as I possibly can, because I also know that if I have to write it down, I'm going to be really good about it. So if I am going to decide to do meal tracking, if I know that I have to write it down, chances are I'm not going to be eating that bag of chips or that piece of Halloween candy that we still have in January. Don't judge me. And so there are a lot of other ideas. I would always recommend to going to Instagram if you have this particular planner and you are looking for ideas. Go over to Instagram and follow the hashtag MakseLife, or even follow the hashtag MakseLife Daily, because that'll give you a bunch of ideas on how to utilize the spread as well. And so I think that I will go ahead and quit talking for a little bit because I'm running out of things to say and I don't want you guys to have to listen to me ramble. And so I will go ahead and put on some very quiet and calming music. So feel free to grab your planner and start getting some stuff written down that you need to do for the week as well. So I have gotten down as much as I could possibly think of. I am going to also create my habits. So again, like I said, this week I've been working on activity. And so I'm just going to be writing activity. And then I'll know if I've reached my 15-minute goal or not. I'll go ahead and check that off here. Other habits that I'm trying to embrace is reading again. Oh, speaking of, I need to do a library pickup on Monday. Okay. I was very, very good with reading, and I just kind of fell off of the bandwagon when we started our holiday vacation from school. So I need to get back into reading. And then another thing that I've been really bad about is consuming the news, whether that's reading the news, listening to the news, or watching the news. I've been really bad about that, so I need to get back into that habit. And then I've been journaling every night, which I've completely fallen in love with over the past couple of years. I actually created a year's journal, and I'm going to go ahead and post that video as well. And so go ahead and be on the lookout for that one, and how I basically created an entire year's worth of a journal, so I wouldn't have the temptation to kind of keep switching notebooks. So I did that. So I'm journaling every night, which is lovely. And then I think for now, I'm going to just go ahead and keep it at that, because when I do my reflections and weekly actions for this coming week, I will probably pick up some additional habits to write on here. So I'm going to leave that blank. So as of now, this is just kind of how everything looks. Let's go ahead and put it back in my rings. All right. Okay. So I've got my weekly overview here, and then I'm going to keep this. I love that this is a sticky note, because I love that you can transfer it to every single day. And so that way it's not staying on one other page and you kind of forget about it. Okay, so I've got my weekly overview Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and I kind of just went in and just wrote down all of my basic chores that I know that need to be done in a week, and I kind of spread it up throughout each day. And then Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. And then that is pretty much it for this. So that is how my week looks like in here. And then usually what I do as I plan, I will sit down in the evening with my journal and with my daily pages, and I'll kind of go over everything that I did accomplish, and then I'll migrate everything that I did not accomplish to the next day. And so I used to be really good about updating everything on my Instagram stories, but you'll see some days my lists are just really, really long. But this is kind of like my bare bones, what I have on a typical week. And then I did forget to write, I'm not going to write the person's name, but we have a neighbor friend who is celebrating a birthday. And I need to write that down so we make sure to wish them a happy birthday on that day. Okay. All right. So here it is. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me and hanging out with me during my little plan with me for the week. And if you wanted to see my journal setup, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications, and that way you can get a notification every time I post a new video. I am going to try and be better about scheduling things as well. So if you have any ideas on anything that you would like to see, just let me know. Thank you again very much, and have a good rest of your day.